Apple CEO Tim Cook described, on Saturday, the U.S. company's relationship with China as symbiotic during a seminar on education and technology within the China Development Forum, organized by the Chinese government and attended by senior officials and heads of companies around the world. Apple and China have grown together, Cook said. It was a symbiotic kind of relationship that I think both of them enjoyed. Cook's first visit to Beijing since the pandemic comes at a time when Apple, the world's largest company by market value, is trying to move its production out of China. Last year, Apple sales were affected by the reduction in production in Chinese factories as a result of the zero-COVID policy adopted by the Chinese government to combat corona. And the controls imposed by the United States on the export of high-tech components also threaten the company's supply chain. Cook did not address supply chain issues, but instead focused on the need to bridge the gap between urban and rural schools, and urged young people to learn to code. Cook also pledged to boost Apple's spending on its rural education program in China to 100 million yuan, $15 million. And Apple is increasing the use of a Chinese company to produce its flagship models of iPhone phones, which breaks the control of the Taiwanese company, Foxconn, over production. After the outbreak of protests by workers in its huge factory in Zhengzhou last November, against the backdrop of restrictions imposed by the Chinese government to confront coronavirus. According to the report published by the Financial Times. According to the newspaper, Apple will sign an agreement to collect its first large orders with the Chinese, Luxure Precision, which competes with the Taiwanese companies, Foxconn, and Pegatron, according to 3 sources who spoke to the newspaper. The newspaper pointed out that Apple's relations with China have become closer in recent years, as a result of Chinese companies winning more orders at the expense of Taiwanese partners, and benefited from this matter companies, Johor Tech, and Wing Tech, which specialize in assembling Apple wireless headphones, AirPods, and MacBook computers, at a time when Foxconn is trying to reduce its dependence on China by establishing factories in India, Vietnam, and the United States.